See, the battle is brewing over this property on Whitesboro Street over by the auditorium. Big story in today's paper that there's going to be another vote, a second vote on this apartment. So it's an apartment complex. On one hand, Rob Etch and his team have plans to build something that, we've heard kind of rumors as to what it would be, but it really hasn't been disclosed. And it would be something pretty large that would be built there to stay in line with that area as being kind of a sports district, a sports and entertainment district. On the other hand, you have this group out of Watertown, which I think is really aligned pretty well with the mayor. And they're Purcell Construction Corporation and hoping to develop a $10 million 129-unit market-rate housing complex at the site just east of the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Now, there were apartments. It was low-income housing that was over there before.
Right.
And those were all taken down. What would this would not be low-income, though, I don't believe. But it would be a housing complex.
Interesting.
And not high-income either.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So it would be apartments for rent or houses, like small houses for sale?
It would be an apartment complex.
Apartment complex,
Yeah,
okay.
129-unit market-rate housing complex at the site just east of the Utica Memorial Auditorium. On the other side, the Upper Mohawk Valley Memorial Auditorium Authority has plans to potentially transform the land into a $45 million to $60 million sports and entertainment-themed area, a plan that the mayor said he is and has been scaled back to $8 million. The Common Council is expected to vote today on selling the property to MSP Realty for $490,000 to build the apartment complex. So it looks like that is going to end up being sold, and that apartment complex is going to be built there. Interesting. Arby's, a guy in Oklahoma City went on some sort of a rampage on Friday, and he stole food from an Arby's, claiming he was from the future. And he'd come in from the future, and I need to try your food, and I don't have the money to pay for it because I don't have your money. I'm a man from the future.
We don't use money in the future.
We do not use your money. Right. In the future, we just take what we want, and here I am.
I'm from the future. We've got no more curly fries. I need them.
Then he went outside. After he was done stealing the food, he went outside and kicked a woman's car. Unfortunately, he kicked the car so hard that he broke his ankle. Cops then found him lying on the ground in pain nearby and arrested him. And it broke his ankle. And once the ankle was broken, he was just in rough shape.
Okay, bad analogy. Okay, Chuck Norris doesn't break ankles. Ankles break when they see Chuck Norris.
Oh, okay, Andrew. Thanks for that update.
And by the way, I did appreciate the police officer there who was explaining the situation very calmly and matter-of-factly because it's just another Friday night in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
And if you're coming from, he said 40 years in the future?
Yeah.
Why would you go to an Oklahoma City and Arby's? I mean, an Arby's in Oklahoma City.
Maybe that's where the DeLorean took him. I mean,
Maybe.
you can't really...
That's a good point. And why only 40 years? I mean, if you have a chance to go back, is 40 years where you're going? Maybe he was looking for something.
Really,
It is.
Anyway.
It is the. We are on the verge of a Trump-Clinton presidential election, so maybe it has something to do
Could
with
be.
that. Maybe
Could
the
be.
first stop was Arby's, the second stop was Connecticut, where the next primaries are.
I have some comments on the and feel free, folks. You want to talk about this 7360186 on this the complex, the apartment complex versus the sports complex that they're talking about building. And I did have a conversation with Rob Etch when we were in New York City about this and what the plans are. Mario says, "Wow, a multi-million-dollar sports complex, just what Utica needs?" ? Michael says, "Looks like a fight between the mayor and the county executive, because really you have the mayor backing the housing complex." And the county executive backing the sports complex. Is that true?
it could be the first UFC fight.
Could be. First one in Utica. I think
set it up.
this person says, I think they're going to be condos. By the way, the man from the future should have paid them with sports games yet to be played. Sports scores, we should say. Yet to be played. Like, here's I'm going to give you this. guess who's going to win the World Series? You're going to win a lot of money with this.
I see as well, based on this guy's mugshot, that there are no combs in the future.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't come. And on the so my conversation on this and what we've gotten, this is and and I know that Mario says, "Oh, great, just what we need, another sports complex." But the thought would be, and to me, it's viable. The thought, because I've lived in this world just a little bit, the thought would be to really focus on these travel teams, and so what would end up happening is, for if you've ever done this, whether it's baseball or lacrosse or soccer, these teams will travel all over the state, all over the Northeast, in competing. Like my kid was in travel baseball, and the luxury of this is that you realize that every parent has a child who's going to be in the major leagues.
Oh yeah,
and you're willing to invest a lot of money and a lot of travel into that. There is big money in what Rob Esch is talking about. And all you have to do is look no further than Cooperstown at the money that has been sunk into those travel baseball teams that are out there. Have you seen any of that out there?
No.
It's incredible. Not only did it was on the outskirts of town. They built these baseball fields where kids come from all over the country to play baseball, and they hold these tournaments and these events. And it begins in the spring, and it doesn't end until the end of the summer. And hotels have popped up over there. Restaurants have popped up. There's money in it. And if you could do that and include an indoor complex where you're doing stuff with soccer and you're doing stuff with lacrosse all year long, it would bring, I really believe that it would be a viable source of some pretty incredible revenue. Because every parent has a kid who's about to be a superstar. And the only way they're going to be a superstar is if you travel. And why have that money why travel that money out of town when you could actually attract people here?
No, I get what you're saying, though, but I think the area can, and I think to some level does accomplish that now. We
don't have any of that now.
No, well, we've hosted state tournaments in recent years.
Yeah, not what I'm talking about. That you're talking about the state, like state basketball. That's not what this is. This is off season. Kids, if you want to be a soccer star, you can't play 3 sports. You need to only play soccer. So what ends up happening is you get on these travel leagues and you travel all over. And so you host tournaments, just like what's being done with baseball. And you're bringing in, 15, 20 teams from out of state, from all across the country. They come every single week. They stay, their families come, they get into hotels. There is money in this. And we are not reaping the benefit at all right now. And we don't have the facility for it. Because for baseball, you need multiple fields, right? That's where they build these multiple fields, which is what they've done in Cooperstown. But if you could accomplish that and have multiple indoor settings for soccer or lacrosse or that sort of thing, I think that brings in, I'm not saying that I think the apartment complex is going to get passed.
Right.
That'll probably be passed today. But the thought that you could bring in money, I think they're right. There's really a lot of money out there that's going elsewhere. Why not? We're right on the thruway. Why not take advantage of it? Christine with an update, 7:20. Good morning, Christine.